Good, good morning. Didn't think you'd see me again, did you? But some shit happened last night. Oh boy, what a wild time to be dropping that after months of, I guess, months of speculation. To be honest with you, you think about it. We started hearing these rumors. Oh, I don't know, probably what, I don't know. I feel like right as the new year was coming, we saw that we heard this rumor that some bats may be getting suspended, and the names you kept hearing were, you heard Suncoast, you heard Juno, Anarchy was in the mix. I think Monsta was another one that we had heard. However, it officially dropped last night at about 10:45. An email went out to everybody in USSSA, as USSSA suspended a number of bats last night, most notably Suncoast and Juno. Juno, it is all their UTH 43 handles. And on the Suncoast, it's a number of bats. It's a number of bats that a lot of people have been a number of bats that a lot of people have been buying. So here are the bats that we have from Suncoast right here. As you can see, I mean, hell, how many of these have we seen? I know this isn't the most clear, but I'm just grabbing it right from the post last night. I feel like these are all the bats you've seen from Suncoast lately. So all these bats are temporarily suspended. The biggest thing here I'm curious about is that temporarily suspended portion. How is this going to play out? Did they not like the number of batches they were seeing that weren't passing the USSSA standard? Was there something going on? I'm very curious because that temporarily suspended is unique. It makes me think that there is something else going on here, this may reverse in time. And then that UTH 43 on the Juno bats, as you can see right here, I went and looked at my final chapter that I was swinging last year, and guess what? Looks like right now I won't be swinging that at all. But it was an interesting one. But I know, hell, I mean, you look at these guys all right here on the bottom three in this one on Suncoast. Those are hot bats. Those are bats we all were seeing being swung, and then you've already seen a lot of these bats coming out this year. So, very, very curious. I know I'm seeing a lot of people upset about USSSA for doing this. Is the timing odd? Yeah. I mean, especially when we have the Vegas major starting tomorrow. That starts tomorrow, so that's the timing on this is a little odd, considering we've been hearing this for like I said, end of December, beginning of the new year. We heard it potentially coming, but I like what they're doing. They're making sure the bats are being upheld to the standards that USSSA has set. I know people are saying, well, you make everyone switch to 240s, and then this comes out with the bats people are buying. Well, I understand that frustration. However, if the bats that are being made 240s aren't meeting the standard that is set by USSSA for 240, then yeah, that's an issue. I was talking with somebody this morning that was, played some conference events towards the end of last year. He was saying he'd be at events and the Suncoast buckets would be completely full, where other teams, when they tested mid tournament, they would be a little empty. So they'd be down to 8-10 bats, as opposed to the Suncoast buckets that were completely full, being held. So, hey, we all know these it started with the ruckus. That ruckus, I mean, we all know people with that original ruckus that is still holding compression well into, year two, after two full seasons, and it still holds going into this year. So, that is it's interesting. It's nice. It was nice to see bats that would hold, so you don't have to buy a new bat halfway through the year. You don't have to buy 3, 4 new bats every season just to make it through compression testing throughout the season. But I think that's the bigger thing. How what is that fine line? People bitch when it's logs, but then when it's too hot and it's failing quickly, that's not ideal as well if you're playing somewhere that gets tested frequently. So I know it's a hot topic right now and a wild time for it to come out as really everybody's seasons are starting. You know, you just look at some things. You look at some rules put into the rule books about social media, being able to be suspended by saying anything about anybody. I want to say on the manufacturing side or vendor side, and there's been some things where I'm sure people are going to question. But this is just it's a big evening. Wild that it dropped at 10:45 last night too. The only reason I saw it, I rolled over and woke up at about 11:30. Saw the hot soup, as Big Ant is putting it, and said let's take a look at this. But you know, I don't know. I mean, this is just going to be one of those times where you're going to have to figure it out. I like that Juneau had a statement ready. They knew this was coming. Suncoast, I have not seen anything from Suncoast yet. But I know Juneau is saying they're going to wait if nothing's been resolved by May. They are putting in place a program, like a refund program, an exchange program where I don't know the full details. Their details are going to come out later. However, Juneau did come out, and Mark Patterson did just post for Suncoast, it looks like. So let me see if I can find that real quick while we're on the air here. But it is nice to see that Suncoast or Juneau was ready, with this statement, and it looks like Mikey Snyder's on the post saying, "Hit me up if you need a bat." It's interesting to see. Pardon me, I'm just trying to buy a little bit of time here while I look for that Mark Patterson post. We'll post that here as well. We'll post the Juneau statement as well as the Suncoast one. Try to keep everybody informed as much as possible. But I mean, you really look the way Suncoast is taking it by storm. This is a lot of people are going to be pissed off. People are going to be pissed off by this ruling coming down. But as I said, I'm curious to see what happens in May. Juneau seems to feel like there may be more resolution come towards May, but who knows? I mean, here's the thing: anarchy not making it. Oh, here we go. First off, I'd like to apologize to anyone who's purchased a bat from us that can no longer be used. I will be finding out what the process is for resolving the situation. Secondly, I would like to let everyone know that we've been told all along that our bats passed all testing and even passed the retesting. So not exactly sure what the issue is. And once again, I will find out and relay the findings to all. Competitive Edge as a team was not aware of bats being illegal except through rumors that were being spread. Next, I would like to let everyone know that USSSA did great injustice to many people. Okay, so now you're just going to, all right. So, yeah, so he was kind of, it looks like he was kind of blindsided by this as well. Thanks, Danny. Looks like he was kind of blindsided by this as well. But it's just, I get the fact that, there were rumors here. Here's the full statement up right now. I get there have been rumors for a while, but this is also it's interesting to see. I gotta tell you, there's plenty of people that are licking their chops. I'm seeing a lot of Louisville Slugger reps out there saying, "Hey, want a bat that passes? Use my code." Keith Bololi, he's a sponsor. He's a Louisville guy, so if anybody wants one of those, go check out Keith. Go hit up Keith Bololi as well. So, but the one company that there's some companies here that I'm curious to see to be honest, how it gets responded here. Anarchy. Anarchy, I'm very curious here. You were in the rumors previously. You obviously maintained your bats. You're not being you're not on this temporary ban list. Um, how can Anarchy capitalize on this? Can they capitalize on this? I think Easton, Worth Mikan, you're in a group of your own, right? Louisville, obviously, you're taking it by storm with the way your bats are selling out, just like Suncoast was. Um, you know, Suncoast and Louisville were the two bat makers that everybody was really after, no matter what the bats were. I'm just a cheap fuck. So I wasn't going to spend 300 on bats. Also, not sure the executive producer of the house would love that. But it's how does Anarchy capitalize on this? I know the Monster bat, the Monster, what was it, the blacklisted Monster bat. I know that I've talked to some people that have swung that, and that's been hot. It's a good bat. So how does Monster now, when they're trying to get into U Trip, they're huge ASA, when they're trying to break more into U Trip, how can they capitalize on this? And that's where I'm curious to see what happens here. You're probably going to have 4 weeks. I'm assuming. I'm assuming these. Suncoast. I'm assuming these Suncoast and Juno bats are going to get squared away in the next month. Only saying that because of that temporary suspended. That temporarily suspended wording was interesting. So I'm curious to see if that's going to get resolved in the next month somehow. But how does Monster capitalize here? How does Anarchy drive themselves into the market a little more? Hey, we all know people. If you're looking for a new bat, if you're looking for a new bat, let us know. Reach out to us. If you don't know anybody, we have plenty of people with different in all the different spots. But obviously, go to our guy Keith first. But that's all. Nothing too much here. We'll keep you guys updated as this story develops. I'm sure everybody's pissed off. I was pissed off when we switched from 220s to 240s, and I bought two $99 bats. I bought two $99. I spent $200 on two 220 bats, thinking they'd be good for however long, and I wasn't thrilled about that. I know there's guys on my team that have four or five of these Suncoasts. Some guys have two. I know people are spending money to get these bats and hold on to them. What's that going to be like? So I would be very pissed off when that kind of money just sits there and you see that going away. So I think at the end of the day, companies are gonna do what's right, or at least try to do what's right. But this is it's an interesting development here. We're gonna keep an eye on it for you. I'm sure we'll be talking further about it on Tuesday. If anything big comes up between now and Tuesday, obviously we're going to be broadcasting over the weekend, but we'll keep you up to date. Join the Discord. We'll probably throw some stuff in there if there's any quick hits. I'll throw our link tree in the comments here in a second. I apologize for my breathing. I just got back from the gym. My nose is clogged like a fucking porta potty right now, and yeah, I sound like a fucking obscene phone call. So here you go. Here's our link tree. Go join our Discord. Join the Discord. Follow us on all our socials. We'll keep you guys up to date. But at the end of the day, is it like everything else? Is it the money? I don't know. I mean, that's going to be what people are going to say. Like Greg Kelly's saying, Juno and Suncoast hit a lot of the market. I don't know. I feel like we've all heard a lot of shit over the last 2 years about certain bats. I don't know. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But end of the day, don't panic, I guess, unless you're playing a conference this weekend or you're signed by one of these two bat companies. But otherwise, let's see what happens with this temporarily suspended, and we'll move from there. That's the biggest thing to go. We'll keep you up to date. Follow us on all our social medias. Bring It Pod. Bring It Podcast on YouTube. Join us in the Discord. We'll keep you up to date when we hear anything new. that may be pertaining to anything. Unfortunately, we don't hear the shit. We don't hear the rumors, so we just jump on and talk about it when you guys hear it. So that's all. Have a great one. I'll be broadcasting this weekend. We'll see you guys soon. Don't go doing anything crazy with those bats. Wait and see what happens over the next month. We'll talk to you guys. Thanks for joining.